Paul traveled to several towns with his friends, and they shared the good news about Jesus. One night, Paul saw a vision. In the vision, God told Paul to go to Macedonia. God wanted Paul to share the gospel there. So Paul and his friends went to Macedonia. They stopped for a few days in a city called Philippi. On the Sabbath, Paul and his friends went outside the city to the river to pray. Some women were there, and Paul started talking to them. A woman named Lydia was listening, and God opened her heart to accept what Paul was saying. Lydia and everyone in her house were baptized. On another day, Paul and Silas were on their way to pray, and a servant girl met them. She had a spirit in her that allowed her to predict the future. She earned a lot of money for her masters by telling the future. The girl followed Paul and Silas, shouting, "These men who are telling you how to be saved are servants of the Most High God." She followed them for many days. Finally, Paul turned and said to the spirit in her, "By the power of Jesus Christ, I command you to come out of her." And the spirit came out right away. Now the girl's owners were upset because she could no longer tell the future. They grabbed Paul and Silas and dragged them to the authorities. They complained about the things Paul and Silas were doing. The officials ordered for Paul and Silas to be beaten and thrown into jail. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing songs to God. The other prisoners were listening to them. All of a sudden, a violent earthquake shook the jail. All the doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. The jailer woke up and saw the prison doors open. He thought the prisoners had escaped, so he took out his sword and was about to kill himself. "Don't hurt yourself," Paul said. "We are all here." The jailer rushed inside and fell down in front of Paul and Silas, shaking with fear. Then he took Paul and Silas outside. "Men, what must I do to be saved?" he asked. They said, "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved." Paul and Silas told the message of Jesus to the jailer and to everyone in his household. All of them believed and were baptized right away. The jailer washed Paul's and Silas's wounds. He brought them into his house and fed them. Later that day, Paul and Silas were set free. Lydia, the jailer, and many others were saved because they heard the gospel and believed in Jesus. Paul and Silas preached the same message to all people, no matter who they were. Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved.